Good morning, boys and girls. How are you this morning? Grandma Nancy here with Artastic from the Grand Rapids Area Library. Super excited about today's project. I think you're gonna have a blast. It's a lot of fun. Today we're gonna do decorative fall leaves. And I'm hoping you've all had a chance to be outside. You maybe collected leaves, done some leaf rubbings. If you don't know how to do that, you just take the leaf and the vein side, you want that up, put it down, paper on top, and then just rub across and you'll get a print of the leaf. They're really beautiful. So you can try that at home. Your grown-ups will know how to do those. Today we're gonna paint though. We haven't painted for a while, so we're gonna do some painted leaves. And they're imaginative, creative leaves. It's really fun to do. Hopefully you've picked up your kit. If you haven't, you might want to have your grown-up go down and get you a kit before you start the video. In your kit today, you have 2 pieces of nice watercolor paper. And again, there's 2 because you could do a second leaf project. I also thought it would be fun. The technique we're going to do today would work really well with a pumpkin too. You could draw a pumpkin on your second one and then divide the space up, which I'll show you how to do later. So you could do both, or you could do any kind of a fun creative drawing you want. It's always nice to have extra paper at home. And then, let's see what else is in here. We have 2 other items today. If you've done Artastic with us before, you'll recognize these. It's a box of crayons, nice new crayons, and then a watercolor paint set, okay? So those are the things that come in your kit. What you'll need from home is a glass of water to wash your brush off. We'll wanna keep our water fairly clean so you don't make too much of a muddy color. The colors will blend together when we start the painting. I'll show you the examples and then we'll get started, okay? So I have a few examples. Here's one, and we're just doing one leaf, one very big leaf. Takes up most of our paper, okay? I will show you how to draw the leaf, you will decorate it, and then we'll paint right over it. You'll paint right over the crayon. We've done this before if you've tuned into Artastic. And the watercolor goes right over the crayon. The wax in the crayon repels it. So it's really, really a fun technique. So this is one. We're using warm colors inside our leaf. And warm colors, again, are colors that make us think of sunsets, campfires. So it's yellows, oranges, reds. Those are the colors that we're going to use on our fall leaf. The fall leaves are generally those colors. The green drops out. This is just a little side note. In the fall, the green leaves the leaf, and then these colors are all showing. Colors are always there, but they're generally covered up with the green, which is chlorophyll. Okay, here's another example. And you can see they're just a little bit different. This one made more spaces in their leaf. And each of the sections becomes a mini piece of art. Like this is a mini piece of art. This is a mini piece. This is a mini piece. And you get to create your own design. So it's super fun. Here's another one. And again, each of these sections, a different design was put in. So when you look at it, you see a lot of different things going on in one piece, okay? The background, we will use our cool colors to paint. And the cool colors, again, are the blues and the greens. And there's one final example, and it's this one. This one's a little bit different in there's a border. I actually did this one and I felt my leaf was too small. I wanted to extend my warm colors. So I just made this little border frame around it and painted that the same warm colors. So you can choose to do that if you feel like you make your leaf too small. But I think it'll be fine. And you could do it anyway if you wanted to. Okay, so why don't you make sure you have all your materials out, and then we will get going on our project. All right, hopefully you're set up. What I'm gonna do first, just so I know what I have, I took my crayons out and I'm gonna pull my warm colors from the mix. Orange would be a warm color, so I'm gonna pull that out. I'll be using that. I won't use blue, I won't use green right now, so I'll put those in the box so they don't distract me. Yellow would be a warm color. Red would be a warm color. I'm gonna keep out the black and maybe brown also, but I'll put the purple, violet back in for now. So those are the colors that I'm going to use on my leaf. To start, I think you can choose what color you want to make the veins. We want the veins to show up pretty strongly. So you choose what color. Yellow won't show up very strongly, and I've realized orange doesn't either so much. So red would be good. You could use red, you could use black, you could use brown. You decide which one you want, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna choose the black. So I have my black crayon ready to go. All right, as we look at these leaves, you can see how large it takes up so much of the paper. That's what we want. We want it to take up a lot of the paper. So we'll be drawing a line diagonally instead of straight up and down. Then it looks like it's maybe falling a little bit, gives it a better look. So we're gonna draw a line diagonally from one corner to another corner. Notice how this one goes one direction and this is the other direction. It doesn't matter what direction you go. It doesn't matter. All right, so just watch what I do and then you can do yours. I'm not gonna go right to the end of the paper, but I'll go pretty close. And then I'm just gonna make a nice straight line down. I feel I wanna go over that a little bit because that's my main vein in my leaf. I might even end, if you look at a leaf, the end of the stem is a little bit wider. So go ahead and make your first line. Okay, now we're going to make the veins that come out. But I want to have you take it slowly because if you're making a bunch of lines, you might end up with too many lines and it'll be too hard to finish a design inside the space, okay? You see we have these lines that we've gone off of here and we make little miniature artworks in there, and you want to have room to do a nice design. I'm going to start up here. I'm gonna make one line like this, and notice I've gone out quite a bit. It actually looks like a Y, doesn't it? And then I'm gonna go this way. Those two veins match. Go ahead and make that. Now I want to leave a space. I don't want it really close. I want to leave a space. So I'm just going to take my finger. I think this looks like a good place. I want to make my vein lines. They're going to get a little longer now because the leaf gets broader as we go down. And then I'm going to make a line right there. Okay. I'll do the same thing. I'll go down about here. And again, I'm getting my leaf, so it's gonna be nice and broad. Oh, I like this. I can tell already this is gonna be very nice space to work. So I have 1, 2, 3 sets. I'm making a 4th set. And I'm gonna make these just a little bit shorter than those two because we'll be bringing our leaf in now. So I have 4 sets. Now, some people, so it depends. Did 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 sets. I thought I had one with 5, maybe I don't. Oh, I do have one with 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we just kind of finish that off at the bottom. Okay, all right. Now we're ready to connect the outside. Leaves are what we call symmetrical. This half matches this half. If I were to fold the leaf right on that line, the sides would match up. It's not possible when you're free drawing, which we are right now, for it to be exactly a match, but you certainly can make it very close, and I'll show you how. I'm gonna extend my line just a little bit up here. You're gonna start here. I'm gonna connect this line to this line, like the edge of a leaf. Okay, so I just made a curved line that connects there. Just a curved line that connects there. Go ahead and do that. Now, because this side should be symmetrical, but it's not gonna be perfect, I'm gonna make the same type of line, and so now I have a match. This side matches this side. Can you see the leaf forming? Okay, we're gonna go to our next one. I'm gonna come up, and then I'm gonna go down a little bit more. Oh, I like that. So over here, this space is narrower than this space, so it's not gonna be exactly the same, of course, but I'm gonna do the same type of a line. Okay. Now I'm gonna connect these. I'm gonna come up and then go down like that. I didn't make a little dip this time. I just made a little arch. You can do it how you want to connect it. It doesn't matter how you want to connect the lines, just as long as you connect them slowly and thoughtfully. And I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna go like this. Whoops, that one is different. That's okay, that's okay. Now the leaf doesn't look finished to me. So I feel like this down here, we need to close that leaf in again. So these were his last 2 lines, and then he did one more section on each side to close the leaf in. The bottom of a leaf usually is just kind of straight like that and curves in gently. So that's what we're gonna do here. I'm gonna come here, and I'm gonna close my leaf in. And I'll just go over that line. I want my lines to be sort of heavy. And then I'll try the same thing over here again, just as long as it's the same form. And that sort of closed the leaf in, okay? All right, looks good. Now we're ready to start putting stuff in our sections. This is the time when you can really, really take your time and just enjoy it. You could take out a piece of scratch paper and practice some designs. You know, if you want to learn how to make these curlies, a grown-up could help you make those, whatever you want to do, okay? And so I'm just gonna start in any one, it doesn't matter. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Altogether, I have 10 sections. I'm gonna start here. I really like circles. I've probably told you that before. I don't know, there's something about circles. So what I'm gonna do in this section is, I'm just going to make some really nice circles, and of course they're freehand drawn, so they're not perfect, right? Now I need more. I want it to be more decorative, so I'm going to actually color those circles in. I'm going to color those circles in. And I think I want to try red. Let's see what red looks like. Oh yeah, red's good. Red looks good too. And I'm just gonna go, and you press your crayon pretty hard because the watercolor paint will go right on top of it. If you break a crayon, remember it's not a big deal. I think this needs more, so I'm gonna go around this one in red. You don't need to do what I'm doing. You do what you want to do. And let's see, let's try to go around these in yellow. And then I feel like this section is done, so I'm gonna move to another section. Again, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go to this one. You can turn your paper too. I turn my paper. I like this line, so I'm gonna follow that line. Oh, I like that. And I'm going to follow that line. Follow that line. I'm getting off a little bit, doesn't matter. I just started the, doesn't matter if you get off. And in each section, you could use just one color, or you could use all your warm colors in there, doesn't matter. Remember I said you could use a little bit of brown if you wanted? Because you know, as the chlorophyll drops from the leaf, the green, and all these colors come, then the leaf, not the tree, but the leaves, they die and fall off, and then they're brown. And so, yes, brown is a fall color. See, I'm kind of making it up as I go. You don't want to be too planned because then you kind of get stuck. But you do want to have a little bit of idea of what you're doing. Okay? And I'll do one more, and then we'll let you go ahead and work on your designs. Oh, can you see how colorful it's looking already? Great. Let's see, I'm gonna start here, and I'm gonna make these little lines going up like this, like that. And then I might color in a couple of them, but not all of them. I'll color in a couple. That one, and then maybe I'll color in this one. Okay? So you can have white showing, of course, because we will be painting it. Or you can decide, I want to color one of the leaves, I want it to all be colored in. You'll still get the paint repelling off of the crayon, so you'll still get a cool look. And then I think I'll leave that. Maybe I'll do some yellow. The yellow looks very light right now, but that's okay. Once we paint, it'll pop out more. All right, have fun, and I'll see you in a couple minutes. All right, I finished my designs. I'm pretty happy with it. I like what I've done. And I just wanted to show you that I broke a crayon. I broke a crayon, still works. I can still use it. It's still good. In fact, I think I will add something as long as I'm going here. So this is the time when you look at your piece and you say, oh, are there any empty white spaces that I could maybe put something else in? Maybe I could put a couple little orange dots here or whatever. Yes, I do like these. It kind of they remind me of plants, like this is a little garden or something. So I'm gonna find each of these lines. And the other thing about this design that's pretty fun is it's repetitive. You're doing a repeating design, which is fun. Okay, so now I'm ready to use my paints. So on the leaf, we're gonna use yellow, orange, red. You could do your entire leaf just yellow, your entire leaf just orange, your entire leaf just red, or you could mix it up. And that's kind of what I like doing because I get the paint pretty wet, so then it blends together. You can see where the orange blended with the yellow. That's super fun. But again, it's your choice, whatever you want to do. And here we have orange blending into yellow too. I'm gonna start with my yellow. I am gonna blend, by the way, but I'm gonna start with my yellow paint because that paint is the one that gets mucky very quickly with other colors in it. And if you remember, you get your brush in the water and it's coated. So you have to break that coating so you get at the paint. And I am doing it gently. It might not seem like it, but I am rubbing pretty gently. I don't want to break the paint. It's in a cake. Okay, so now I look and I think, yes, I have enough paint to start working. So I'm just gonna, oh yeah, this is looking good. This is looking good. I'm just coming right across, painting right across the piece. Getting more water because you want a lot of water. And I don't want to miss anything. Once in a while, you'll see a little black coming from your lines, and that's okay. That adds to the art. That adds to the art style, so it's good. That yellow's pretty, isn't it? It's so bright. I'm a big fan of yellow. It's a happy color. Okay, I'm just going to try something. I'm gonna try that half of the leaf in yellow. And I wanna work a little bit quickly if you're blending colors and you want them to run together. You want the paint to still be wet when you start your next color. So I'm just about ready to start my next color. And there, okay. So the other side of my leaf, I'm gonna do orange. And again, I have to break open the seal, to break that open, make sure I get the paint going. And I'll start painting that. I'm going over into the yellow because I'm hoping that's gonna blend together really well. So I go right over the top of that. Now there, the orange doesn't, the crayon orange doesn't show through quite as much, and that's okay. It's nothing, some of the sections will be more subtle because if you're doing orange paint over orange crayon, obviously it's not gonna show through quite as much. Coming around. And I don't even care if I go out of the line of the leaf here because you even get some blended there when you start doing your background. See, right there I got out, no problem. Okay, now I want more blending than I have here, so I'm going to take a little bit of orange and put it maybe right on that edge, and hopefully that'll go in there. And I'm gonna try to pull some of this in. Just experiment, just have a blast with these colors, okay? Let's see what happens when I put the yellow on the orange. Now my yellow is gonna get a little orange because I didn't wipe my brush well enough, but that's okay. That's okay. I'll just work with it. Okay? And then you just look at it for a second and decide if you're good to go. I'm good to go. I like this. I like the yellow and the orange and how they blend in a little space. Okay. Make sure you wash your brush off very well. And then remember, you can squeeze that extra water and extra paint off. Don't pull, because you could pull the bristles off the brush, but just kind of squeeze it gently. So in the background, you can use, let's see, we have violet and we have blue in our paint tray, and that's what this one was done with, some blue. And then look at how beautifully the violet, I believe, went on top of the blue where it was wet and just really made a great design. You could use one color, green. And what's fun about this is he had a very, very wet paintbrush. And so you can see how it made these great spaces back there. It's not painted, oh, how do I want to say it? It's not like a solid painting of green. The water in it made some really cool designs. So I like that very much. This one used blue, and the same thing. The paintbrush was very saturated with water, and they have it blended together with that blue. So I guess, you know, you can just kind of decide what you want to do. I'm going to start with blue for my background, and then I'll see what goes from there. I might put a little bit of purple in, and I might just leave it blue. Working on getting the coating off, saturating my brush with paint and water. And then you just, oh, look at it. It's so pretty. And this is where, do you see how it's kind of thick right there? I'm gonna leave it because I'm hoping for this. I'm hoping for this kind of a thing. That's how he got that kind of a thing, is it was thick in places. This is, you know what's fun about this? It's not, you don't have to do a perfect paint job. You just get to kind of go with it. And that's how I like to paint. I just like to, you know, I don't have to concentrate that I'm not hitting somewhere. I'm just kind of going with it. So now I'm actually sort of making a decision. I think I'm gonna do the edge with blue, and then try to do purple in the background. And I'm gonna go to purple right now because my blue paint is still really wet, and I'm hoping for some nice, oh man, look at that blending. It's working, this is what I want. And if I feel like it, I can put more water and get it to blend even more. Oh yes, this is it. This is what I want. This is good. Right in there, pretty. So if the blue and the violet mix together on my brush, I don't get it really clean now, I don't care. They go together, these colors go together really well. So I'm gonna go back to some blue. I'm gonna turn my paper, work upside down now, and get some paint in here. I don't have any newspaper under my work. Maybe your grown-up thought of that for you, but I forgot to put newspaper. So I'm getting a little bit of paint on the table. This table wipes off really easily, though it is a craft table. So if you have newspaper before you start doing this, you might, because you will go off. You really will go off. Do you like it? I like it. Ooh, right around in there. And get some in here. See, I'm going actually a little bit into the leaf there, aren't I? And it's fine. When the purple hits the orange, it sort of makes a brown. And again, that's totally fine. You can see it right up here. All right. I feel happy with it. I might want to come in and get, if I see a little white showing, I might want to just kind of get a little bit of color in there. And then what you want to do, you can see it's pretty wet. So what you want to do is don't pick it up yet because the color might run. I know it's tempting to pick it up and hold it in front of you so you can really see it, but just leave it flat now so it dries, okay? I also told you that I would show you, you could do it with your second piece of paper or other paper mom and dad have at home. You could do a pumpkin. There's a lot of great pumpkins out there now. All I did was just drew the pumpkin and then I made 1, 2 curved lines inside of it to give it some depth. And each of these spaces could be done in the same manner that we did the leaf. And that would be a very, very fun activity too. And of course you could use the paper for whatever you wanted. You can draw whatever you want. I had a very good time today. I enjoyed this project. I hope you enjoyed it too. And I hope you'll continue to do art. The leaves, again, I know that you've probably been out collecting leaves, you've seen the beautiful colors. I just wanted to remind families at home that the Grand Rapids Area Library has many books, many fun fall books on leaves and trees and all kinds of things. So it's a good time to stop down at the Grand Rapids Area Library and see if you can pick out a couple of fall books to enjoy reading. All right. We'll see you next month. Thanks a lot.